The squat is one of the most polarizing movements in fitness. Some people swear by it and think it's a cure-all. Others are scared to perform it, either because they've had pain or they were never taught how to do it properly. In this week's Coach's Corner, we're going to talk about how the mini band can help you earn your squat. What's up, friends? Coach Ed here with Results Driven, and welcome to another installment of RD's Coach's Corner. This week, we're going to talk about how you can use a piece of equipment that costs less than a cup of coffee to earn your squat. The three main ways we use the mini band to help you earn your squat are with tension-based mobility drills, adding position assistance to lower body-based core movements, and adding position assistance to upper body-based core movements. One example of a tension-based mobility drill is adding the mini band around the hands or wrists in a half-kneel hip flexor stretch. Mobility drills are only effective if you actually move the right joint segments. And the only way to ensure you do that is by locking down the other segments. With a half-kneel hip flexor stretch, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they get too much movement from the low back. If you get excessive extension at the low back, then you're not actually mobilizing the hip flexors. All you're doing is some weird, awkward, primal dance pose thing. By placing a mini band around the hands or wrists and actually breaking out against the band, you're able to generate tension through the lats and into the core to stabilize the low back. That's going to make sure that all of the movement you get is actually from the hips. We would rather see a lesser range of motion in the right area than trying to show off. At RD, we think about the core a little differently. It's not just the abs, obliques, and low back, it's actually everything from the shoulders through the hips. So there's lower body-based core movements and upper body-based core movements. When you're working to try to earn your squat, we want to make sure that you have a way to not only train the lower body, but also make sure that you're getting the core and hips primed to earn the squat in the future. And the bridge is one of the main ways to do that. In the squat, there's two main things we need to do with the lower body. We need to make sure we have a good connection with the floor, and we need to make sure we're prying the hips apart. The connection with the floor is the easy part to practice in the bridge. It's a lot harder to practice prying the hips unless you add a mini band. So by placing the mini band just below the knees, it gives you something to drive out against. The combination of driving through the floor and breaking the mini band primes your nervous system to be able to squat in the future. If you have enough mobility in the hips and ankles, but you're still struggling with the squat, you may want to add an upper body-based core movement like a tall nail press out. The tall nail position has symmetrical hips just like the squat. But now we need to make sure that we generate force in the right positions. By driving the toes into the ground, you generate force through the lower body. Now we need to find it in the upper body. So placing a mini band just like the hip flexor stretch around the wrists or hands is a great way to ensure that you get the lats and core engaged. If you're looking to earn your squat, we recommend combining these movements into a little mini circuit, as long as there's no pain when you perform any of them. Starting with the half-kneel hip flexor stretch, going into your bridge, and then finishing with your tall nail press out. If you find these drills don't work for you, reach out to a results-driven coach and we'd be happy to do a functional movement screen and build a specific routine based on your movement profile. Thank you for joining us for another installment of RD's Coach's Corner. It's our goal to help educate the Monroe Woodbury community so that you can all become the strong, healthy versions of yourselves that you always knew you could be. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, check out resultsdrivenfs.com. Check back next week as we're going to go into how we can use the mini band to improve your squat once you're already a certified squat assassin. You don't actually have to kill people with the squat. Just a name I came up with. Bye.
Dude, you're freaking me out.
If you porm? What's porm? You need a chicken porm? Emphasize. Actually help you, so in the bread, there are two main shut up, Ed. Movement screen.
You're so smooth on camera.
You threw a strong strong. It's gonna be okay. I'm not losing it. Share and thank you for, this is exceptionally rough.